Oh yeah, so we got the 25 wildest NBA facts, and I have no idea what is gonna be in this video. But Nonstop made it. They always make good videos.
Was legitimately traded for a straight-up copy machine to Giannis's acting career before joining the NBA. These are the 25 wildest facts about the NBA.
Yo, did somebody really get traded for a copy machine, bro? I've always heard people make jokes like, "Yo, we'll trade him for a bag of Skittles and some M&Ms and shit." But did someone actually in the NBA get traded for a copy machine?
Everyone knows about Kobe Bryant's infamous 81-point game. But there are other equally impressive Kobe records you might not know about. During a 4-game streak in 2007, the Black Mamba averaged 56 points over a 7-day span.
Now Kobe for the tie. Got it!
In that week, Bryant dropped more 50 pieces than D-Wade had in his entire career, as many as Karl Malone did in 19 years, and more than Tim Duncan, Clyde Drexler, and Paul Pierce combined. That's impressive. But what's completely bizarre, every year, there are about 500 players in the NBA. So the chances of anyone sharing the exact same birthday are pretty slim. And for them to all play on the same team, well, that's virtually impossible. But what if we told you that one team had not one,
Not two,
but 3 players who were born on the same date, and they all played the same position? In 2015-16, the Dallas Mavericks employed Deron Williams, J.J. Barea, and Raymond Felton, who were all born on June 26, 1984.
All right, but low key, that's a nasty lineup, bro. Like on the lowest of keys, bro. J.J. Barea, Raymond Felton. I'm a Knicks fan, bro. Raymond Felton did some wild things in the Garden.
That's like a 1,000,000,000 to 1 chance. But what are the chances of you destroying your entire NBA career just because you're a sound sleeper? Well, that's exactly what happened to B.J. Tyler, a fast 6'1" point guard, and the 20th pick in the 1994 NBA draft. As he was preparing for his second NBA season, B.J. decided to take a little nap in the practice facility. Now, that wouldn't be a problem if he didn't forget to take off the ice packs he put around his ankles. See, due to the prolonged sleep, the ice caused severe nerve damage in his ankles, which resulted in Tyler...
Bro, nah. I don't think I've ever fell asleep with ice packs on. And even in the ice tub, do people fall asleep in the ice tub? Like, I usually hit the ice tub after games. I don't really do after practices. But do people fall asleep with ice packs on their knee? Like, that's too cold for me. I don't understand how that's even possible. Let me know if y'all, like, can y'all fall asleep with ice packs? Bro, I can't. This shit too cold. But to fall asleep and ruin your NBA career? That's crazy.
Losing his quickness and never playing another NBA game. But this next player was projected to be so extraordinarily slow that he actually got traded for some office supplies. Kyle Korver was one of the best shooters in NBA history. But because of his lack of athleticism, he was drafted by the Nets with the 51st pick. However,
Kyle Korver got traded for a copy machine? Bro, the ultimate disrespect. That man was a sniper, bro. I thought it was going to be some, like, D-tier player. I thought it was going to be some, like, no-name. That's not really a cool fact. But Kyle Korver? Bro, somebody got to... That's crazy.
The Nets never thought much of Korver, so they quickly traded him to Philadelphia for money compensation. And to make things even more embarrassing, they used this money for entry fees to play in the Summer League.
Oh my God.
And with the leftover money, they bought a copy machine.
I should have been your teammate.
You should have been Jersey, right?
Yeah,
and who did they draft?
No, they sold me. Honestly, they paid for Summer League and they bought a copy machine.
That's insane.
The Nets are known
Bro,
for making...
that would make me one of the hardest working motherfuckers in the league, son. That shit would, oh my God. Y'all don't value me at all. Y'all don't value me whatsoever. A copy machine? Bro.
Some of the worst trades in NBA history, but trading one of the best shooters for a freaking copy machine? That has to be top of the list.
I hope that
But
GM got
let's
fired.
talk about one
That's
of
crazy.
Korver's teammates, LeBron James, who has stockpiled records and feats like few others. And you probably know that Bron averages 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists for his career. But did you know that in
Big
his
numbers.
1,600 plus NBA games, the King has never had a game with 27, 7, and 7? An even
Really?
more unbelievable LeBron stat line is that he has more playoff wins than the Raptors, Grizzlies,
That's
Hornets, Pelicans, and the Timberwolves combined.
And y'all motherfuckers at home, bro, still find ways to discredit LeBron. Y'all find ways to hate on LeBron. This man is one of the greatest players to walk this earth, whether you like it or not. Oof. I can't even imagine hating on someone like that, bro. He's like the model citizen. He never been in trouble. This motherfucker never been in no scandals. This motherfucker never. Probably the worst thing he did was televise his trade request. But it's 2024, bro. Women be televising. Y'all remember back when nudes and stuff being leaked was like a bad thing? I don't know if y'all were in school for that, but like when I was growing up, women did not like their nudes. It was like a thing, bro. There used to be pages of like the local thoughts, and it was some low key shit. And like now in 2024, women be posting that shit. OnlyFans subscriptions, just give me $8 a month. I'll show you everything. It's a crazy time we live in, and for motherfuckers to still hate LeBron. Some people hate LeBron because they go is Jordan and he's threatening them, and some people just hate change, hate new. That's just life, right? This man has more playoff wins than whole organizations by himself.
One chance. But what are the chances of you destroying your entire NBA career just because you're a sound sleeper?
Did we go back too
That's
far?
exactly what happened to BJ. But let's talk about one of Korver's teammates, LeBron James, who has stockpiled records and feats like few others. And you probably know that Bron averages 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists for his career. But did you know that in his 1,600 plus NBA games, the King has never had a game with 27, 7, and 7? An even more unbelievable LeBron stat line is that he has more playoff wins than the Raptors, Grizzlies, Hornets, Pelicans, and the Timberwolves combined. Also, James has played more playoff games than 50% of all NBA franchises.
Half.
And has more
This man's been in more playoff games than half the league as organizations. Bro.
wins than any franchise in the last 25 years.
And y'all be giving this man shit for like, alright, everyone gives Jordan the crown because he won 6 rings and 6 finals, right? But the amount of shit teams that LeBron has brought to the finals, to the playoffs, I think that's more impressive to me personally. Like, man brought Matthew Dellavedova and fucking Ilyasova to the goddamn playoffs, bro. Like, why do we give MJ credit for losing in the first round and not making it to the finals every time? I'll never understand.
But that's
that.
not all. LeBron famously broke Kareem's scoring record in 2023, and he did it by being insanely consistent.
Coming to the end of the third quarter. LeBron James, a shot at history.
If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe so I can know and I can keep bringing you videos like this on a regular basis.
LeBron James has scored 10-plus points in 1,124 straight games and counting. And in this millennium, James has scored more points in the playoffs than 7 NBA franchises:
That's
Grizzlies, Wizards, Hornets, Pelicans, Knicks, Timberwolves, and the Kings. To be fair, it's not that hard to score more points than the Kings, who recently broke their playoff curse after missing the postseason for 16 straight years,
Hey,
which
shout out-
is an NBA record. Even the defunct
Hey, shout out
Supersonics,
to my
who haven't existed
shout out to my dog Zach. Your Kings are trash, bro.
as a franchise since 2007, have won a playoff series more recently than the Kings. But what about records that are outright weird? If you've never heard of Eddie Robinson, we don't blame you, as he only played 5 unremarkable years in the NBA between 2000 and 2004. But what makes Robinson unique is that he played for 2 teams. Not so weird, the Hornets and the Bulls. Now, he recorded 969 points and 382 rebounds for Chicago. And then, with Charlotte, he scored exactly 969 points and 382 rebounds.
You think he knew about that? Do you think like when he was playing for the second team, like the Hornets, you think he knew? Like, all right, I'm gonna match. I don't think he knew.
Maravich made an unbelievable prediction about his own death. When he was just 26 years old, the Pistol said in an interview that he didn't want to have a 10-year NBA career and then die of a heart attack at 40. He then
What?
proceeded to have a 10-year NBA career and die of a heart attack at 40.
Garland, as you mentioned, Pete Maravich was playing the game he loved and gave so much of his life to when he died this morning in Pasadena, California.
And speaking of hearts,
You think that was like dead ass planned? Like what? How the fuck is that coincidence?
Randy Foy was born with one of the rarest conditions, called situs invertus, which means that he was born with his organs in reverse. Foy's heart is on the right
Whoa.
side of his chest, while his liver is on the left. While
What? That's a thing? And clearly he's a fucking elite athlete. Even with the that's a flex, son. My organs are backwards. I'm still giving y'all buckets.
he was playing, Foy was the only player in major American sports leagues with this condition.
That's
Still,
insane.
this didn't affect his play, and he carved out a solid 11-year career. And there is one very famous NBA player who also played with a condition, and that condition was being drunk. Manute Bol is the tallest and probably the
Yo, someone made a joke, right? Someone made a joke the other day, and I found it hilarious. That like some of these old guys that we don't watch, or like we see the history of, and they won championships and have records and stuff. I've heard them motherfuckers say that back then they were playing against the milkman, they were playing against Bob and Joe at work, and you just this 7-foot dark skinned tall beast where like, I can be in this motherfucker drunk and still get out buckets because no one can even stop me. I'm too strong, I'm too tall.
skinniest player in NBA history. And in order to put on weight, he used to drink beer before games. Supposedly,
on
Manute
weight?
never played a game sober, which makes his feat of hitting 6 3-pointers in one half even more
That's
impressive.
crazy.
But what's equally impressive is when NBA
Whoa, okay. Shaq, what the fuck is this? Shaquille O'Neal. What the hell am I looking at?
players kill it on the silver screen. Oh,
That's what you call killing it? Dry humping a man?
Shaq, if you're watching this, yeah, we're not talking about Kazam. If you've never heard about the movie Dead
That's
Europe,
wild.
you'll be surprised to know that way before one player ever got to the NBA, he kicked off his acting career. We're talking about none other than Giannis Antetokounmpo. We know what
He's a
you're
funny
asking
motherfucker,
yourself.
though.
How the hell did a teenage Giannis, who was struggling to make ends meet, ever end up in a movie? Well, as it turns out, Dead Europe's director, Tony Kravitz, was filming the movie in Athens,
Oh, wow.
and he wanted to cast a family who could play refugees, yet seem normal and open-hearted.
That's
Giannis
crazy.
and his mother,
Yeah.
who also appears in the scene, applied for the job because they needed money. And they were a natural fit
Giannis is a
because their
funny
life
motherfucker,
experience
though.
perfectly described those of their characters. Looks like Giannis was destined to be a star one way or another. However, Giannis was not the first Nigerian to play in the NBA. It's in fact Hakeem Olajuwon, who is from the same Yoruba tribe as Giannis's parents. Hakeem's path to the NBA is equally as remarkable as Giannis's, because just like Giannis, Hakeem discovered basketball very late, when he was already 15 years old. But thanks to his soccer background, Olajuwon quickly finessed the game and developed impeccable
I'm
footwork
about to
that would
say.
make him one of the best centers of all time.
Man,
He's
crazy
one of only
footwork, I bet.
4 NBA players to ever record a quadruple
What's crazy, I heard he's charging 100 racks to like train and teach motherfuckers, bro. Would you pay $100,000 to go get trained by Hakeem Olajuwon if you're a big? Like me personally, I wouldn't go to Hakeem. I'm going to like a guard or somebody, maybe a forward, somebody like this. But to learn the hook shot and the dream shake and all that shit, 100 racks though. If I'm an NBA guy, I'm making that back, no problem. But like us regular dudes,
developed impeccable footwork that would make one chance. But
Oh
what
my
are the
God,
chances
it's
of you
scenes,
just
bro. I
late
gotta change the
when he was
fucking scene
already
button.
15 years old? But thanks to his soccer background, Olajuwon quickly finessed the game and developed impeccable footwork that would make him one of the best centers of all time. He's one of only 4 NBA players to ever record a quadruple double with a stat line of 18 points, 16 rebounds, 11 blocks, and 10 assists. This, however, is not a story about that game, but of another game that happened 3 weeks earlier. The Dream recorded 29 points, 18 rebounds, 10 assists, and 11 blocks, meaning he had 2 quadruple-double games in 1 month, which is beyond crazy. Except 3 days after that game, the NBA officials stripped him of 1 assist, which is a shame, because he would be the only player with 2 career quadruple-doubles.
A quadruple-double is insane, dog.
But what about the negative scoring records? Do you know the record for minutes played in a game without a single point? Well, if you don't, we bet Wilson Chandler does.
That's crazy.
Because he's the owner of that horrible record, as he played a full 48 minutes without ever scoring once. Now,
okay, and before we flame Wilson Chandler, right? Before we get all flaming Wilson Chandler, a lot of y'all could not score a single point in an NBA game. Shit, I probably could score. Nah, I'm capping. I could probably give him like 5 points. It's tough to score in the NBA, bro. Every shot contested. There's no shot you shooting that's wide open, really, unless you playing with some of them boys. But even then, bro, the closeout speed of the NBA, like these motherfuckers are all tall, lanky, strong. Like, the closeout speed of the NBA. Seeing over guys is different in the NBA. Like, nah. I don't think a lot of the regular Joe Schmoes can fucking score in an NBA game. But for an NBA guy to go 48 minutes not score a bucket, I mean, he got rebounds and shit. Hold on, let me show y'all. He got rebounds and shit. He got 9 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and 3 turnovers. He took 3 shots. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. That's probably why he got traded to the Knicks.
to be fair, Chandler shares this record with Dennis Rodman and Horace Grant, who also went scoreless for the full duration of 1 game. And while we're talking about Chandlers, let's mention Tyson Chandler, who is a co-owner of one very strange accomplishment. In 2012, Chandler won the Defensive Player of the Year award, and he didn't even make first-team All-Defense.
Which is crazy.
To make things even weirder, and a clear sign that the voting system was flawed, the same thing happened again in 2013, this time with Marc Gasol. But how was that even possible? It's because the Defensive Player of the Year was voted for by the media and was separate from all defense.
So, like, this is the thing in even today's NBA and today's, like, game with the voting. And I think Rudy Gobert is, like, a big eye-opener for this. Where, like, no one in the league respects you as a defensive option, right? We've seen it in the playoffs this whole time that, like, their game plan was to attack Rudy Gobert in the pick and roll because he's always dropping. So now I'm getting open threes, I'm getting the mid-range. You got to force him to step up because that's where he's in no man's land, right? And you cannot, like, there's no stat for the guards unless you get a steal, which is very rare because you're usually the on-ball defender. In the pick and roll, it's hard to get the deflection, passing lanes if you are playing in the pick and roll. Like, you're getting around the screen, you're chasing. Some teams switch, but a lot of guys at the guard position cannot defend all 5 positions, so switching creates mismatches and stuff, especially when you do 1-5 pick and roll with the center. Yeah, I don't want to be guarding the center. I really don't. I fight over the screen every time. I tell coach, we not switching. We don't need to switch. Unless it's the shooting guard setting the screen or some weird shit. We switch, communicate. But, like, there's no stat for that. Being a pesky defender, closing out, making shots hard, making shots tough, being in the slap and annoying guys, being a pest like Patrick Beverly and all these guys. Like Drew Holiday is another one. There's no stats for that. And you would only know that if you play against these guys. Like, all right, we're playing the Celtics. Goddamn, I got a fucking tough night because Drew Holiday gonna be on my ass. You know what I mean? Like, there's no stat in the box score that shows really who's the best defenders, and I'm sure the advanced analytics and stuff like this are out there, and we probably don't value them. Like, people don't look at them when they're voting. They just go off of blocks, rebounds, you know what I'm saying? And the old school mindset of the center being a defensive captain, I think that's changing a little bit. But us as voters, not us, but the voting system is flawed because there's no way you're telling me the defensive player of the year, the best defender in the league, is Rudy Gobert. He's not. And with this pick and roll meta that the league is running, you cannot tell me a guard does not deserve to be the best defender. And other players will tell you. The player voting and the fan and fucking media voting, two different like lineups. Now I don't know what the correct system is. I don't know. In my opinion, the players should have the biggest percentage if we're gonna split it up like how we are splitting it up, right? I don't think that fans and media really need to have a vote in this because, I mean, they kind of do, but they really don't. You know what I mean? Like, I'd say you should give it a small percentage to the media and the fans and stuff. But like, how many followers you have on Instagram determine what a great defender you are, or if everybody knows you're a great defender? Like, we don't need the media and the narratives and stuff like this to affect the voting. Really, we should really have the players vote, and then some like professional data analytics guys, and maybe the media have a small percentage. But like, I think people who watch the game and play the game, you know who the best defenders are, and we're hunting Rudy Gobert in the pick and roll, bro. Like, how the fuck is he DPOY? It's great. That's crazy.
Voting about NBA awards and the mess that comes with voting, there used to be an NBA award that aimed to exclude all this nonsense and be purely based on statistics. It was called the IBM Award.
What is that?
You know, like the computer company. And it actually looked like a laptop because it was also sponsored by IBM, the computer company. The winner was determined by a computer formula, which measured the player's statistical contribution to his team and should have decided who's the most impactful player in the league.
Oh, most
it was the
impactful.
statistical equivalent of the MVP award, and in theory, seemed great. But the problem was that it heavily favored rebounding and discounted winning, which yielded some improbable winners, like Dennis Rodman over Michael Jordan.
And that's what I mean. Like, Rudy Gobert, yeah, you grabbing all the rebounds, bro. That's your job. Good shit. You sit in the paint. You're playing the paint. You're sitting back, right? You're getting rebounds. You're probably getting 1 or 2 blocks a night. But in my opinion, maybe this is biased, me being a guard, not that difficult. Like, bro, it is not that hard to sit back, turn around, grab the board, outlet. Sit back. Oh, the guard got by. Block. Okay, it's hard, right? But it's not as hard as fighting over the screen, getting back, closing out, fucking drop cover. Like, bro. And with how motherfuckers be sniping that bitch, bro, you cannot sag off. You cannot sleep. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit of bias of an opinion, but I don't think just boxing out and grabbing rebounds is the most impactful way. There's several ways to impact someone on the court or impact the game, and I don't think just rebounding is the most important. It's not. Being a good teammate, motivate your guys, being a leader, vocal leader, calling out the plays, you know what I'm saying, running the offense, all this stuff, it doesn't get, there's no stat for it. I guess it's my TLDR.
And Dikembe Mutombo over Shaq in 1999. But after 19 years and 11 different winners, the IBM award was discontinued in 2002, which seems like yesterday.
I never heard of it.
If you think about how crazy the NBA used to be when it first started. For example, in
No
1938,
three-point line is wild.
there was a jump ball after every made basket. This
Really?
basically meant that if you had a strong rebounder, you'd win every jump ball and have a tremendous advantage over the opponent. And
What? Bro, I never knew that. In 1938, there was no three-point line. And after every made basket, there was a jump ball. That's insanity, bro. I did not know that. That's a weird... Basically, you gotta have fucking big. That's crazy. That's why back in the day, the big meta was so tough.
that's maybe less unusual than the fact that the Miami Heat used to be in the Western Conference.
That don't make
Miami
sense.
joined the NBA in 1988
I hate how football
together
does
with
that.
the Hornets. And the Eastern Conference couldn't get both teams. So the NBA put the Heat in the West, even though Miami is literally on the East Coast. The next season, the Timberwolves joined, and Miami permanently switched to the East. But when it comes to the Western
I hate that
Conference,
NFL
it
does
was
that too.
long dominated by only 2 states. And the 2023 Nuggets are the only West team since 1979 to win the NBA title outside of California and Texas. And speaking of Texas, let's talk about Jason Terry,
Jason
who
Terry.
won the NBA title with Dallas in 2011 and is probably the most overconfident man in NBA history. See, before the 2011 season even started, Terry had tattooed the Larry O'Brien trophy on his right bicep.
Yeah, that's kind of bold. Not gonna lie, that is bold as fuck. I would never personally tattoo no team, no other man, no object, no job I got. No, that's a risky. Like y'all see the people getting what's that dude's name that played for Minnesota? He got the most or 6 man. Fuck is his name? Oh my god, what is his name? It's gonna what's his name, bro? Everyone got his name tatted. Am I tripping? Is he not? Nas Reed, bro. Fucking Nas Reed. Everyone in Minnesota was getting Nas Reed tatted on them, and that's permanent, bro. Like, what if it comes out that, like, he's this terrible person or he's doing some, you know what I'm saying, illegal shit. Now everyone just has his name tatted. That was the funniest NBA run for a dude who I don't think the average fan even knows who the fuck that man is, bro. But he won most improved 6 man and name tatted is crazy.
As motivation for himself and his teammates to win it all that year. When he first got the tattoo, I said he was crazy. I didn't say it to him, but I've never been to the NBA Finals. And for him to have that now, wow. And he got that tattoo in October. And it means a lot with what we've been through.
That's insane.
Teammate Deshaun Stevenson. However, this is not the only off-the-wall story about Jason Terry. This man was one of the most superstitious players in NBA history. Really? And he had some rituals he would never deter from. Jason would eat chicken, and only chicken, before every game. If he missed consecutive shots in the first quarter, he would immediately change his shoes before the next quarter. But by far the craziest ritual...
That's crazy. I think that's the NBA money, but like, change it. Do y'all wear new shoes each game? Like, I heard someone say that. Like, they break their shits in practice, and then, like, in the games, they wear them. But, like, every game you wear a new shoe. Changing your shoes per quarter, per half. I've seen players say that.
He slept in the opposing team's shorts the night before he played them. So if he was going on a 2-week road trip, this meant he had to travel with 10 different pairs of shorts from the opposing teams. And he had to plan exactly which shorts to pack.
That's crazy.
Jason Terry was once a teammate of Shaquille O'Neal. And this next unbelievable story is called the 6 Degrees of Shaq, which once was also featured on Inside the NBA.
This is a streak that dates back till 1984. Every champion in the NBA has had a player who's been a teammate of Shaquille O'Neal.
No way.
You see, between 1977 and 2021, all NBA championship teams had at least one of Shaq's teammates on their roster. And as the final interesting nugget of this video, we'll mention something that doesn't exist anymore.
That's crazy.
It's the old Twitter logo, which was named Larry, after Larry Bird.
Wow.
And this
Twitter
is just
logo
speculation,
is Bird?
but the new Twitter logo is probably named after Elon's son, who, we'll admit, has a cool name.
I mean, it's just X, the letter X, and then the AE is like pronounced Ash.
What?
Yeah.
That's the weirdest rich
and
nigga
then,
shit.
A12 is my contribution.
But he has a lot of ground to make up to compare to Larry Legend.
That's crazy. All right, well, yeah, that was 25 of the wildest NBA facts. Yeah, that's crazy. I never thought I would ever fucking... I don't know about changing the shoes at halftime or like or per quarter if I miss 2 straight shots. That's crazy. I don't know many people who can afford to do that, and I don't know many people who do that. But I have heard players say they change their shoes half to half, and that's... I don't personally. If I'm missing shots or if I'm not hitting shots I'm supposed to be hitting, it's probably not my shoes, bro. I swear.
But I love it. Kinda crazy. No, it's kinda crazy. Sipping tuss. Ain't that crazy? No, it's kinda crazy. The Tesla bus. Kinda crazy. Yeah, I know it's kinda